what? Their position is firmly locked in. But for Tempo Storm, 2 points means that they become 5th over LG. Same amount of money, but a much larger feather in your cap. The map veto is up on your screen. Where are we going to play? So far, we have seen 3 different maps: Theme Park, Coastline, and Clubhouse. And right now, it could be Theme Park again. It'll be Kafe Dostoevsky. So we'll see 4 different maps today. Always nice to see.
Yeah, variation's awesome. So Kafe, looking at the stats right now, is actually the best map for Tempo Storm. They don't have like a flawless record here. They got 7-0'd on Kafe by TSM, which doesn't bode well, I guess, when you look at it like that. But they 7-2'd Evil Geniuses on it, and they 7-1'd Luminosity on this map. So a tendency for quick Kafe matches when we get to this one. I'm not sure what just happened there, but we're back. We'll go to the community vote. What do you guys think? Who's going to win this? Why don't you go ahead and tell us? Looks like it'll be 79% Reciprocity. And actually looking at Reciprocity's map pool, Kafe is not a great map for them. It's not a terrible one. They lost to Dark Zero 7-5 on it, and other than that, they haven't had any results in recent months. So this will be an interesting one for sure. And we've got the community vote done, so we'll go ahead and load into the match. It'll be Tempo Storm starting on defense, Reciprocity starting on attack as we load in Kafe.
One thing that needs to be kept in mind here as well, when you try to look at the way that these two teams have played each other before, well, in Pro League they haven't. The only forfeit so far this season in North America, unfortunately, came when Tempo Storm was having some issues with their internet/tech, and Reciprocity was given the forfeit victory. So this is a perfect opportunity for Tempo to avenge that unfortunate loss.
It certainly is. We'll go through the map ban, or rather, sorry, the operator ban phase. Patrick gone. Gridlock as well. I actually wouldn't have seen that coming, to be honest. That's kind of surprising there for Rec. They typically will ban Nomad on this map, but obviously they probably know something that we don't. I'm not sure what it is. Tempo Storm doesn't tend to play Gridlock. Yo, count me in too. Anyway, the operator ban phase continuing. Mute's gone. I think that's smart with the Thatcher ban. Probably probably a Mira, Echo, Maestro, something along those lines for the last ban. Valkyrie is an option. I mean, at this rate, we're getting some really divergent bans from Reciprocity. So I expect there to be something different, divergent here as well for Tempo. There it is. It's the Guyu. And phase done. Very different than usual, like I said.
I like these. I really like when we step outside the norm. Now, I mean, we have, with a Mute and a Goyo ban, we have Maestro available, Echo available, Mira available. This one will get fascinating very quickly. We know how much teams love Goyo to be able to just soak up that utility. And in this particular instance, there's going to be lots of it brought, I'm assuming, from the attackers. For the defenders, even though all these operators are available, they're not bringing any of them. We actually see a Mira, Echo, and Maestro-less defense from Tempo, unless they 6th pick onto one of them. It'll be a start on Reading Room Fireplace down below, and not a single person is going to use the 6th pick, which is available. So the reveal phase will stand pat, though neither team will know, as 6th pick is deceptive. It doesn't show up if somebody decides to 6th pick away. Once again, a team foregoing that top floor bomb site has become increasingly common as we have played more and more Kafe, and that's because it gives a buffer zone. We've seen this on Villa, we saw it for a bit on Theme Park in the previous matchup between SSG and TSM. You can roam on that 3rd floor without having teams be able to commit to it in terms of getting the diffuser down. This allows you to waste more time, it allows you to force attackers to drone more, and gives a much greater benefit to the defenders. Vertical play is, of course, incredibly important, though we do see teams every now and then attack Kafe from the bottom floor and clear up. I suspect that Rec isn't going to bother with that, at least looking from the lineup that we have right now. Zofia and Sledge don't really work out the way that they want them to. There's a Buck absent, and that would have been a dead giveaway that they could have possibly played from below.
Run out here from Dream. Spotting someone on his cam, and he'll miss his shot. But at least he puts some pressure on Reciprocity. Effective or no. Damage done to Laxing. So Tempo already in the HP advantage. There's a sledge in play here, so they'll wait for him to open up the drop downs instead of wasting the breaching charges. Very effective and efficient getting to the roof here for Reciprocity. The amount of time it takes you to get to the roof is actually kind of relevant on Kafe, since it's such a common thing. You have to get to the roof. That's where the attacks start. And around, again, 45 seconds is about normal to start opening up the drops. Piano control already being established here for Reciprocity. Effective droning going on. The middle floor defense, though, is going to change what that means. The outcome of the round. There's the control established. Now need to push all the way over to Cocktail, where you find 3 defenders currently. 2 in the actual Cocktail area. 1 on the white staircase to hold the white hallway. Vertical setup to try and challenge it from pixel spot. Backfire storage open, but there's reinforcements on the other side. Reciprocity's going to have to get past all those layers before they can start attacking the site.
You don't need to worry about a C4 either because you're standing on solid concrete, so that's a very safe place to find yourself if you're Rec, and they don't really have too much of a fear here. I look like a drone that was positioned over by Heaven, as you've now begun to take greater advantage of how far back Tempo is. The Nomad as well of Laxing got in quite aggressively so. That's very much Telltale and vintage Laxing. First smoke canister is going to go off with just over a minute left. Waiting to see if the Jaeger is going to pick, and Slash just misses out. He's looking for the head of the Jaeger, and there you go. He'll find it. Goodbye, Crazy, as the C4 blows up in front of him, does no damage amazingly, but Rec will walk away with the opening duel.
That was a really common setup there from Tempo. The shield paired with the C4 on the double door. But the way that Slash played it, he wasn't exposed to C4 thanks to Biologic's Excaros opening up that wall. Beautiful play there from Reciprocity. Now find themselves in the man advantage as they begin their assault on the floor, which will be giving them vertical control over the bomb site and the ability to punish the anchors, of which currently there are none inside of Reading. They've all fallen back, decided to go for a retake. It's probably smart.
It's a drone given, but it's not going to be used for information. It's just a little bit of denial. Last 2 toxic canisters go off as the smoke of Mark will continue to live until the bitter end. But there he goes. Fox A gets him. Creators trades off. Tempo still trying their best to be able to get back into the site. Great coverage from Slash as Bio gets the diffuser down, then takes matters into his own hands. On the hunt is Creators above, but he won't be able to do anything. The prey gets away. Reciprocity take round number 1.
Solid attack there from Reciprocity. Top 4 control was pretty quickly established. The vertical presence was also really effectively used. Their ability to cut off the rotations in the retake of the bomb site was fantastic. Saw Tempo doing their darndest to try and rush in to deny that plant as we got ever closer to 000, but it didn't happen. Good coverage, again, really being the star of the show there for Reciprocity as the plant was going down. So managing to establish that man advantage without getting punished too severely for the top floor clear, I mean, that's as good as it gets there if you're Reciprocity. The time was the only scary bit, and it was managed well enough to be successful for the attack. Transition. Second round. It'll be Kitchen as the other bomb site that Tempo is going to attempt.
I liked what we saw out of Rec there. They took control the way they needed. They didn't give up too much on their entry. They worked slowly, but they were very deliberate about it. They had enough of a spread where they were close enough together, but were still doing their respective jobs. And the one thing that I have to give a lot of credit to Rec for over the last couple play days is that not only is their execution of the way that they pull off defenses and attacks working better, but more than that, they have the firepower to be able to capitalize off of it. Bio and Slash in particular, in the round we just witnessed, they showed their ability to do good work. They picked up 3 of the 5 kills. It's on your screen right now. And they are not people who are in an entry style of role. You know, Rec has never lacked firepower. There's a joke going around way long ago when Vertical was picked up on the team. You know, who's going to play support? Well, you all kind of support each other. I mean, there was a period of time where even G2 didn't really have a dedicated support outside of Goga, and he was perfectly capable of fragging as well. So if Rec can continue to play this well, then that's going to bode, you know, very poorly for Tempo Storm.
Enemy play good. We play bad. Bodes bad. If you keep your HP at 100 and you take the enemy's HP to 0, you win.
I always think back whenever you do like the caveman voices or something like that. I always think back to that is when they were on Obey. It was on that Oregon match, and I was like, Bosco Blackbeard win round.
I remember that. That was so good. Oh, man. Yeah,
that's it. That's it. At that point, that was it. The man single-handedly got the DMR from Blackbeard nerfed. Imagine that.
Imagine being that good with something, yeah. Oh, okay. Looks like we... Parker, why is the TV on? No, sorry. Butter's gonna get a kill onto Slash as the TV returns to its normal stance of, working.
Just don't spectate Foxy. I trust me. There's nothing to watch there anyway, right? Butters takes out Biologic on the second kill for Tempo's Storm. Half of the round to go. This is shaping up quite nicely for this for this Tempo Storm squad. But there goes Dream. Foxy above. Now you can spectate him. See, now he does the things he needs.
As he gets the first kill for his team. A whole minute here for Reciprocity, but they're up against the wall, really. I mean, look at the situation in terms of the positioning.
He's literally up against a wall.
He is actually, he's hugging a wall. 2 walls, in fact.
Vertical is literally up against the wall.
Yeah. It's gonna need to be a main lobby clear. Otherwise, Foxy's not gonna be able to affect this round very much. He'll drone for himself. He's gonna give away his intention. Default cam's still up. Pull from above is not gonna be the problem. Butters inside of the site is, and he's gonna get his 4th kill with that TCST-12. Sledgehammer going into the meat locker. You can see Foxy is just twisting the wind, and Crazy will put him out of his misery. Tempo take their first round off of a great round by Butters with the quad kill inside of Kitchen.
The inability to shake off Tempo Storm from the front side of Bakery was really all she wrote for Reciprocity. That was the story of that round. They did not trade him out. He was too good playing, dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge, as my father always says.
I know that one.
Great. I'm glad you are slowly picking it up. You are becoming a great man of culture here.
Thank you, Parker.
But no, I mean, I got to say, Tempo Storm didn't really do all that much. Maybe they were structured off-site and Rec droned them out and said, you know what, let's not bother for the way that they're playing. Let's just simply gun it towards Bakery wall. And there was a mistake. Were that the case? Because that Bakery/kitchen wall was not able to be pierced by Rec. They all died in that same spot. And like I said, that could have been Rec saying, hey, we don't like Tempo's setup. If we just take out Butters, it's free real estate. Or they could have just simply not done enough drone work and decided, hey, we can beat this kid in a gunfight, and the answer is no. Apparently on that round you couldn't.
I think it was problematic that that Butters had the position he had, but most importantly that he had the gun that he had. The TCST-12, I gotta say, is one of the best guns in the game if you can hit your shots. Butters was hitting his shots. He's also playing in a way, from an angle where he knows exactly where his engagement is going to be. His cone of engagement's pretty linear. It's just right there in front of him. He doesn't have to stress too much about other angles. And given that the TCST-12 excels in that scenario. So good job to Butters for using that correctly. I mean, it's worth keeping in mind that, the round did hinge off of one player's efforts. So that is not something reliable, nor is it something that you should expect. We'll see if that sort of thing can happen continuously for Tempo, but it's unlikely. This round is going to be a reading dining defense. Tempo has not managed to make anything other than the kitchen work so far, but they haven't tried this yet, so maybe this will be successful. Did they clear out the... Okay, apparently they cleared out the ADS. Or at least they had a knowledge that there wasn't an ADS there. I'm surprised. I didn't hear the flashes.
Not sure. But it looks like it's going to be the same style of take from Reciprocity in the cigar, and then hold control of White Stairs, isolate somebody that's playing at the top of White Stairs. But I don't know what you're going to be able to do. You're going to have to shake off the electricity that's on that wall. It's likely at the hands of creators. Butters continuing on with how good he's been so far. He finds the opening pick 2 rounds in a row. But there goes Vertical, and the rest of Tempo Storm will prove that it's not just the Butters show. Already things much worse for Reciprocity as Foxy is wary of looking down into reading. opening up just a tiny portion of the wall leading into Cocktail. You know that somebody's playing over there behind the deployable shield. Slash was the one to capitalize on this before. No Zilfia. He was on the IQ. The head of the Jaeger is spotted, waiting for him to just move ever so slightly. If you can get that, I can understand how frustrating that is. Foxay can't hit the shots. In goes Biologic. He gets taken out by the Jaeger of Crazy. Now Foxay is there to try and do some work. Reciprocity of 50 seconds left, and they have just stalled real hard upstairs. Falling flat on their face, I suppose.
Opening from above is Foxay, but what is he really going to be able to accomplish with so little HP? At least he's got a grenade to work with, but he's not even got anyone to cover him. Laxing is by Pillars. The nade hits the bars, and now Foxay will drop to assist Laxing in Pillars. Laxing not checking his spot, though, and he'll die to the player in Engine. That's Mark. Should be another kill for Mark lined up here. All he needs to do is land one shot. Can he do that? Looks like the answer is no. Foxay will down him, finish him off. Dream, Crazy, and Creators. Again, just one bullet needed to be landed here. Foxay not going to have much of a chance, but he's trying. C4 goes out and is not detonated. Possibly shot. Foxay cannot physically get to the enemy to win the round, so he has lost this round. Nice holdout from Tempo, and Crazy will get the final kill.
Tempo cleaning up, and honestly, the big change that came in from round number 1 to round number 3, same bomb site, but a much different approach from Tempo Storm. They were a little bit sharper upstairs, and they knew that Rec were likely going to come to Tempo the same way. Rec could have changed things up. They really didn't. They changed out a couple operators, but overall, they still had the same style of play. Repel into piano, take control, post somebody on white stairs. Laxing on the first round, swung in through the second floor, went up to the top of red. That was his positioning. Have Slash continue on through the front of Cocktail and then head on over to where the deployable shield was set up with the Jaeger behind it. But if you do the exact same thing, it's much easier for it to be read into. Down below, you had the C4 raring to go. Tempo Storm was a little bit more aggressive with how they took their engagements with Rec, and because of that, they won their gunfights. That's enough to net you one kill in a 1v1 and take a 5v4 to a 5v3. And when these are, from time to time, very utility-heavy operators, that becomes a troubling situation to find your way out of. For Rec, they then threw Biologic at the problem over by where the A-bomb site now is on your screen, which is the southeast side of Cocktail. Bio pressured in, but Foxay wasn't fast enough, and Bio ended up getting downed. Foxay very low on HP after his engagement earlier on as the Jaeger escaped, and then they just sat in sight. 4 people from Tempo Storm just needed to sit and wait. They knew that Foxay was on low HP after the damage had been done from the Jaeger, and they knew that they were very limited on what utility they had at their disposal. Rec were essentially at that point hoping that they could maybe get Tempo Storm to commit some errors. That was the only real win scenario for Tempo Storm, or for Reciprocity rather, in that previous round against Tempo Storm. So if you're Rec this time around, you're going to have to find a new way to take control of the same part of the map, because this is going to be a defense for TS upstairs in Bar Cocktail.
Been good for Reciprocity attacking the top floor. In fact, it's the only site they've seen success on so far. So at least that bodes well for the attack. Interesting attack strategy right now from Reciprocity. Looks like they want to come in from below. Good information on the main lobby. I mean, it's not exactly poorly thought out. I'm just not sure what the plan is. Possibly to deal with the C4 from below. That could be the factor that they're trying to account for. Also, it looks like it's going to be an east take from Reciprocity, which is very different. I mean, you may as well mix things up, I guess. Try to keep your enemy on their toes. Push up from the white stairs here for the Ash. Foxay trying to apply some pressure from east repel. He's going to make defending this a lot more difficult. And he is going to force players to play in positions that are more exposed to vertical. Butters will get slashed, though. The lead-off kill going to Tempo. And a rotation all the way down to the basement. That actually could prove fruitful for Tempo later on. So he can now flank the Ash, who's playing inside a reading, trying to deal with the player in Cocktail.
The match very much not out of reach for Reciprocity just yet, even though they are giving up these opening picks and they are giving up lots of real estate to the defenders. This is the way that Kafe is played out, and if you can be a little bit better on your entry, then you're not going to be, giving these concessions to your opponent so easily. Slash is an awful lot removed from this matchup, given that it's a Zofia as well. So you're going to rely so much more on Foxy to be able to handle any kind of vertical play, but I mean, this is tough for Sledge. He's not as effective in terms of soft destruction when it comes to attacking this top floor bomb site. Vertical play is his bread and butter, and well, he's not going to be able to do all that much. We've got Crazy committing quite a weird mistake to vertical. He'd lost most of the floor as well as his safety around him, so he's just going to needlessly engage just as we see Dream do so. There's one for Tempo Storm, two for Tempo, they dominate, and then Laxing answers back. Just like that, a snap of the fingers, we are back at even. Laxing takes out Mark, leaving Butters, as you'd mentioned earlier, to try and retake. He guns down the Sledge, leaving Laxing and Butters in a 1v1. One of the newest members of Pro League versus one of the oldest and most tenured in Laxing. That's a former world champion that you're going to be playing against. Lots of marks coming in. That's likely from the Maestro cam that Laxing can't do a single thing about, and he's going to need to go for the kill here. There's not much else he can do. Play off of that defuse going down. He's getting pinged over and over again. Calls from Tempo Storm as well, but Laxing has no clue where Butters is, and it's in the best interest of Butters to just play time. Laxing knows that he's doomed, and the Wamai will finish things off. Easy peasy for Tempo Storm. They complete the cycle 3 rounds in a row. That's pretty good. Rec will need to recover as we are getting closer to the end of Tempo Storm's first defense.
Well, I said you can't rely on Butters getting 4Ks, and I claimed a lot of it hinged on that TCSG 12. But clearly I was wrong on both accounts, as Butters 4Ks with an AUG once again. So, impressive performance for Butters. This seems to be his match. He has got Rec's number, and he is putting up rounds on the board for his team. That's 2 rounds now, thanks to Butters' efforts. Kitchen, the next bomb site here for Tempo. Back to the bottom floor. This is where the streak started for Tempo. This is where they managed to put Reciprocity on the back foot. We'll see if Butters is going to 4K with the TCSE 12 on the corner once again. Basically, that's pretty much what determined the outcome of the last time Reciprocity were here. In that last round, the attack had a little bit of a trouble dealing with the retake from the Wamai. That's the key. Reciprocity had control, thanks to Laxing's efforts, but they couldn't lock it up. Obviously, could have been alleviated a little bit by a Nomad air jab or two, but I guess they had already been used for something else, likely runouts. So for the case B, great job to Butters for clutching it up, as he has been doing throughout this match. He's siphoning the kills away from everybody else and keeping them all for himself. 9 kills in 4 rounds.
Attackers are heading out to defuse a bomb.
That's the kind of stuff you like to see from Tempo Storm. And I mean, if you're Rec here, I'm not trying to diminish what we're seeing from Tempo Storm, but there's more on the line for them. You know, saying you finished 5th is obviously better than saying you finished 6th. And Reciprocity realized that let's go for broke. So they are in sight already, but answered well by Tempo Storm, who read into this. They meet the lawnmower that is in the hands of creators. Hibana will miss out an opportunity just down below as Biologic and Crazy were going to fight each other. Crazy gets the kill, 1 for Slash as well. It's an absolute mess with Reciprocity being able to level things off. We are 40 seconds into the round, and there is very limited HP for Rec left on the board. Crazy and Mark are still in good shape, but Mark has the UMP in hands. It's one of the worst guns in the game, we've heard people say. He's going to attract an awful lot of attention and take out Laxing. Like I said, there wasn't that much there. Slash is on just 1 HP. He's inside of the site, but it's a total reversal, Michael, as the diffuser is down on white stairs, and Slash knows he needs to get it. It's being sat on top of by Crazy. Drone is completely gone, but you know Slash is able to find that intel.
Yeah, I mean,
so too does Mark.
We can't see what he saw on the drone, but he saw something. He's hunting the Pulse with his gadget right now. They're hunting each other, in fact. And he's waiting for an opportunity to get the kill. He's trying to bait Mark into some soft, destructible floors so he can shoot him from below. You can see that based on his movement, but it's just been called out that it's an IQ, thanks to the Evil Eye, which means that Mark will go nowhere near Slash. And instead, both players from Tempo will try to play off the diffuser. That's the right call. Slash now has to work around his enemy instead of his enemy working around him. Air jabs pulsing away. That's not going to help at all in this situation. He needs to matrix around all the bullets that will come from Crazy and Mark, and Legion traps, mind you. There he goes to spot out the Legion traps. There's 4 of them on the stairs there. That's pretty ridiculous. He knows about them now. luckily for him, he's got a whole minute, so he can rotate. He hasn't checked for Legion traps on that staircase, though. The fake out will probably be red. Since there's a heartbeat detector in play, he's probably being scanned right now, for all we know. And there's still Legion traps on the staircase Slash has to deal with. Got into a position where he could be peeked. For heartbeat detector, it's called out. Once again, he has to clear the Legion traps before he can even push. Eek almost gets the kill there. Both players doubling up on the angle because they know how low he is, and they know they just need to land one shot, not allow it to be a 1v1 and then another 1v1. Taking a C4, another Legion trap, running out of time now, and there it is. Tempo Storm take the round. A nice try from Slash, but he ultimately had no chance. I think he probably was just giving his team a timeout.
I appreciate what they were trying to do, but there's no chance in hell that Slash was winning that.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, furthermore, why did you have both members of Tempo Storm there? Like, I know that the diffuser's down, but if Slash runs up as a 3-speed as IQ, that G8, looks in pretty quickly now. And he could have easily killed both of them with how close they were if they just didn't hit their shots. That was risky. I mean, if you're Tempo Storm, why do you have both of them in the same area? You could have easily just had one person watch it. I don't know.
I think they probably knew how low his HP was. They're just like, hey, guys, if you just double on the angle, then you can't lose. And they were right. They didn't lose.
Attackers need to locate. And
Biggest thing is the diffuser was there in the first place. The Habana rushed up to try and challenge the Legion early in the round. That pretty much.
Bio was down below, and they heard him reloading, so he decided to push, which I can't say is a terrible idea. He just lost the gunfight because I'm pretty sure Bio's been running an ACOG on that, and at such close range, it's foolish to think.
Just drop the ACOG first. That's all I'm saying. Or sorry, not drop the ACOG. I never said that. You can't prove it. There is no record of this. Drop the diffuser first.
That's the one.
5 seconds.
But no, as I was saying, and I was so rudely interrupted by Reciprocity's
What are you
very quick
talking about?
attack. I was talking about the fact that this matchup for Rec it's not going to change their positioning in the standings. It's not going to change anything about the amount of prize money that they take home. For Rec, this is essentially an off-season match for them at this point.
Yeah,
it's just for a better record. But for Tempo Storm, there are very real things on the line here, and they could finish 5th.
Yeah, and that would be a big upgrade
Located by attackers.
for sure. Well. Wait, are they in 6th right now, Parker? I'm pretty sure that's where they.
Yes, no, they're in 7th. So they're in 7th, and they would vault up to 5th. It would push E United down to 7th.
Yeah. So they could leapfrog 2 teams. And yeah, that actually is quite substantial. That is a difference in price pool. They go from 12,000 to 14,000, so $2,000 extra. The only real substantial difference in price pool, honestly, is between 2nd and 1st. It's the difference between 22 and 50. Like, that's the big jump, and we already saw that one transpire. But hey, a little jump up might be really good for Tempo. So there's definitely a lot on the line, I guess, for them in that regard. Pushing through mining here for Reciprocity will be met by an LMG. It's called the Alda. It's in the hands of Butters, one of the most successful players on Tempo in this match. He will be downed, though, and Dream will also be eliminated by Bio. Soon to be finished off, I'm sure. They're not in a rush necessarily. He actually, I don't think he would have been spotted had he not moved there. But Reciprocity established at least an even man count.
I think Butters was just trying to work as a mobile drone. I don't think he was trying to necessarily claw to safety. He was trying to buy his team some greater time and live for 15 seconds longer than I expected him to. It looked like Biologic was going to be able to see him, but you do need to remember that while it's easy for you to say, wait, how did you not see him? You do need to remember that when people are running ACOGs and are running 4x3 and different field of views, they might not actually see things that we, running on default resolution and a full field of view slider at 90, will be able to see. They quite literally might not actually have seen the Maestro crawling along the ground.
Also worth noting, we have outlines, and even when they're in play in view, it's really advantageous for us to see things. Crazy flanking in piano, that's huge. He is going to be able to stop any push into dining just from that position, and there's very little that Reciprocity is going to be able to do about that.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
There it is.
Speaking of, yeah, Crazy gets the pick onto Biologic, and then the Bandit Creator's nearly missing. We'll leave Slash in a 1v2. Once again, dying moments for Spencer Oliver to be able to do something here. And a pre-fire from the Jaeger. That would have been really embarrassing if Crazy had missed that. You know Super would have had a tweet lined up that he would have deleted very soon after. But regardless, Slash goes down. It's a 5-1 for Tempo Storm. Excellently played.
Has been excellently played. They'll go on to defense now. And by they, I mean Reciprocity. Tempo Storm going on to attack. So only one successful attack so far. We'll see how many Tempo Storm can manage. I wonder if this will be a quick 7-1 based on their current situation. Tempo is playing better for sure. Reciprocity are kind of, I don't know. How do I explain this? They're like, they're like the Reciprocity we saw play against United in Playday number 7, but with a different roster. Or, no, better. Playday number 9 versus Evil Geniuses. The draw. Not the Reciprocity we saw beat TSM in Playday number 10. Remember when I told you guys at the beginning of this, or on the lead-in to this match, I guess, how there's a little bit of inconsistency with Reciprocity, how one match they'll be playing amazingly, and then the next match they'll really struggle for some reason. This seems to be one of their struggle matches. Their coordination is not fantastic. We've seen a number of rounds play out where we've got Reciprocity in just all over the map on attack. Now, the good thing about this situation that Reciprocity find themselves in right now is that defense kind of automatically makes cohesion be a thing. Like, your ability to coordinate, your ability to be a team is kind of assisted, if that makes sense, by being on the defense. It's just an automatic thing. So, given that, Reciprocity now find themselves in a advantageous position, the same way Tempo did when they were on defense. So, yeah. We'll see if Reciprocity can run it back.
Tempo Storm are playing with a fire in their belly, and obviously to win a sizable chunk of cash. It's only $2,000, right? I believe. Hold on a second.
It's a $2,000 upgrade, yeah.
So here are the official prize pool numbers. If you finish first in any of the regions, these are the same for Europe, North America, and Latin America. APAC, obviously, it differs depending on what of the sub-regions you were in. But in all of the regions, first place is 50,000. Second place is 22,500. Third is 16,500. Fourth is just 16,000. Fifth and sixth, 14,000. Seventh and eighth, 12,000. So it's a difference of 2,000. You split that 5 ways plus a possible coach. You know, there's the coach of Tempo. The 2 coaches for Tempo are Ken's and DNA. So possibly that extra $2,000, if they do win here, would be split 7 ways. It's not a ton of money in comparison to larger events, but that's still quite a bit of money in general. An awful lot of money, especially for some of these kids who are 18, 19 years old, etc. It's a nice chunk of change.
It is a nice chunk of change, to be sure. I think the real winners today are SSG.
I think the real winners are the friends we made along the way. And Reciprocity, because they just got the opening pick there on defense. Vertical, doing his best, traded off by Dream, immediately on the hunt. Crazy with 1 kill. This would be match point if Tempo Storm prevails. They have full control of that 3rd floor, but would you look at that? It's not a 3rd floor defense as we have come to expect. It's down below in reading.
I don't remember which one that one's from.
What?
Friends we make along the way?
I don't actually know where that originates from either.
Yeah. I'm sure it does come from somewhere, but he's saying. Top 4 control established, and Tempo's got enough time to use it. There's no one to use it on right now, seemingly. Last Reciprocity member's trying to wait this round out. The mirror window's going to assist very much on the whole inside of reading, but it could be opened up on from above, I believe. Yeah, it definitely could be. Creators will get vertical. Putting it all on Biologic and Laxing, make that all on Laxing. He's going to have to 1v4. He'll need to deny the plant as well. Here comes the C4, but it's too late. Post-plant now. C4 also misses. It did some damage, but it misses outright in the kill. There's the peek from Laxing. He gets one. Needs to check to his right. Sees the foot. Pre-fires, but that'll cause a reposition. Still wins that fight. Creators in a 1v1 with Laxing, who is on an absolute tear. The rotation here. Smart here from Laxing, but he's barely got time to do this. He cannot be quiet. He's only got 20 seconds. It takes 7 seconds to disable that diffuser. He has to go, man. He hurt his enemy. He knows he's up here. But there it is. The win from Tempo. Creators playing it smart. There wouldn't have been time anyway for Laxing, as he was too slow on that rotation. Tempo Storm will take their first attack and put this very close to being over on match point.
It's been a quick matchup now with Tempo Storm just slicing through Reciprocity. Also, by the way, that skin that we saw, it's a cat skin. It's called Meow Meow or something like that. Somebody tweeted at me during one of the breaks being like, here's what the skin is. And I was like, oh, it's a cat. It's a cat skin. Yeah, it's got like paw prints on the bottom handle. It's a nomad only skin. Yeah, it's supposed to look like cat fur.
You know, that's kind of weird.
It's so cute. I'm a dog guy, but that's still cute.
Is it a legendary? Like you get it from Alpha Packs?
Yeah, I think the only way to get it is from Alpha Packs, yeah.
It looks like a legendary to me. Well,
does it? Because you look like a legendary to me.
Protect your bombs from being defused
Oh,
by attackers.
shucks! Parker! You flatter me, sir.
Bomb located by attackers.
I think back to that clip a while ago when we were on Oregon. I was like, yeah, except for studs. And I was like, I looked around and the only stud I could find was you.
Aw. I wish I was good at, like, this, so I could, like, give appropriate reciprocation.
What, flirting? Oh, you don't have to. It's fine. I pity the people that have never, ever heard us talk to each other.
Right.
And are just,
Like,
so lost.
They just tuning in for the first time. They've never watched CG Sports, and they're
Look at
like,
these guys.
like, are they dating? What is
What
this
is going on?
What is that?
It's just like, you see just like a wave of Kappa prides.
Meanwhile, everybody else in the chat, like the veteran watchers,
They're like, stop making jokes.
come on, you guys gotta match the cast.
They're like, yeah, the people that are watching this are like, not this again. This is just another day in Pro League.
Oh man, once more onto the breach.
My dear
like to
friends, once more.
The fifth, right? Henry the Fifth. Oh, 19-4.
Ooh.
On goes Butters. That's not.
I don't think they
bad
can follow up. See, it looks like a cat. I told you it looked like a cat. Watch when he pulls his gun back out. Go back to creators.
Look at him when he whips his gun out, Parker.
Go back to creators. Watch when he look at. There it is. On ABS. There it goes. See, it kind of looks like a cat. You can't tell at all.
I can see what you're talking about though. I can see it.
Yeah, you can see it.
It's definitely it's got the cat texture.
It's like a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meow.
Meow
Butters
meow.
gets picked back up. This is a top 4
Meow, meow, meow,
defense,
meow.
by the way.
Meow meow.
Bar cocktail.
Meow meow.
Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow. Meow.
Meow meow meow. 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 Just in. Meow 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 meow. Parker and Kicks have totally.
It appears the Pro League broadcast has been taken over by a pack of felines. Mark, meanwhile, putting in work. All of Tempo Storm putting in work right now as we finish off talking about domesticated animals and instead turn towards a match in front of our very eyes. And it appears that Tempo Storm is trying to domesticate all of Reciprocity, and they are doing quite an adept job. 6-1 right now. They have control.
I did not know that Tempo had this level of training in domestication, and you're seeing that Reciprocity are looking very well trained right now, as they are currently in a 2v5. They're going to need to pick up some massive kills here, or it's going to be a flawless round. Foxe will get one, so at least no flawless for Reciprocity. They won't get absolutely dominated, just a little dominated, and don't seem to be enjoying it. Low HP for Foxe. He'll die to a single bullet. It looks like a knife attempt there from Mark. I can't say I blame him in this situation, but no one else is going to be trying that knife attempt. Sounds like maybe some pistols out for Tempo. Not an easy situation for Foxe to find himself in. Oh no, he has to fight his own mirror window. It gets worse and worse by the second. Well, there's no more rounds, so he's got to try something. Nice attempt at an angle there for Foxe. I gotta say, good awareness. He's pre-firing all the right locations, but he's just not winning the fights, and Tempo will take it. Oh, Mark drops some salt in the chat. Oh, boy. You can tell he had it pre-typed. He had it pre-typed up.
He was waiting, and enter. There you go.
The second it
was
was
waiting.
over. Yeah.
Can I hit enter now? Marco. Tempo Storm wins the final matchup of the play day, and with it, they earn themselves 2,000 more bones.
Yeah. Good for them. Congratulations to Tempo for taking it. I gotta say, respect to Foxay, not being a sore loser. Absolutely, like, handling that with class.
I'm Davide Bucci.
He is a classy gentleman. So, okay, it looked like Reciprocity were kind of just, again, sometimes they have those days, they don't really show up. We've seen that a couple of times. And they draw it against Evil Geniuses back when EG was looking real rough. And yeah, I mean, they weren't really, in my opinion, they weren't really fully there for that match. That said, I will say, Tempo playing above and beyond in that match, way better, definitely improving. And we've been seeing a lot of that today. I think a lot of teams like Tempo have been showing up today in a way that you just don't expect, and you got to be impressed by it.
Like I said, there was a lot more on the line here for Tempo than Rec, and they proved it. Honestly, they had the pressure on their shoulders, and they were able to do well, despite the fact that they could have very easily choked it, given the fact that they moved from 7th place up to 5th. You know, very well done from them. And the real losers here are Luminosity and E United, both of whom struggled in their matches today. So congratulations to Tempo Storm. Both they and E United came in, and, you know, they finished 5th and 7th respectively, but they proved that they can hang. Anyway, we're just waiting on the interview to be able to talk to Tempo Storm. We have the interview actually ready, so we'll bring it up now for you.
Hello.
Dream, how are you doing? I don't think I've ever interviewed you before. I think it was just Butters.
Yep, just Butters. I'm new to this.
Well, welcome aboard. You have a very comfortable looking bedroom, by the way. That is like exceedingly comfortable. So
I made the bed so Twitch chat can't yell at me.
That's very good. The bed is so comfortable that you could have theoretically put all of Reciprocity to sleep in there, as you did in the server today. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple things, because we haven't, and I don't mean this in a rude way, we haven't exactly had an opportunity to talk to the entire team so far this season, but we've spoken to Butters a lot for you. You've competed now all season long. What does this season and this placing now in 5th place for you, what does this mean to you as a player, and what does this mean to your team and where you started in comparison to where you are now?
Honestly, we've grown so much as a team. I mean, alone with just the addition of Mark, he's brought so much to the team, and we've just grown throughout the season, basically just learning. It's our first time in Pro League, and we're just trying to kill it out here. So I think 5th place is a good spot for our first season. But we definitely have more to prove.
Apologies there. What was the mood amongst your team going into today's match, knowing what was on the line?
Everyone was really hyped. I mean, Mark was blasting music in TeamSpeak like he normally does before our games. So, yeah, we wanted to kill it today, and I think we did.
So now you look back on this season, and you see your struggles, you see your triumphs and where they were. What's next for Tempo Storm? What's next for your team?
Honestly, it's just back to the grind. I mean, we ended 5th. Yeah, that's great for my first season, but we definitely ain't stopping there.
When you look back on your team's growth from Challenger League to Pro League, you didn't make any roster moves going from two-faced over to Pro League. Was that a risk at the time for you?
Not really. I mean, everybody really trusted each other, and we knew we had what it takes. So we just had to prove ourselves.
What was the biggest step up for you from Challenger League to Pro League? Was there anything that was immediately evident?
Yeah, a lot of our rushes weren't going to work. Pro League teams counter that a lot harder. Hey, but it'll work in CL.
Now, you've got the off season now to be able to work on things and get through the groove, prepare for next season, etc. You have the very final interview. Hell of a time, by the way, for you to be new to this. You have the very final interview here in North American Pro League. What are your parting words for the viewers, for your organization, for your team, etc., and your final thoughts on this season as a whole for you, your team, and all of the rest of North America?
Final thoughts. Just everybody, just stay safe. with all this COVID stuff going on. It's crazy out there. Just stay in your homes. Don't be out. Don't be doing stuff. I just want to thank everyone for supporting Rainbow Six in general. Thank you, Tempo, for giving us this amazing opportunity and just helping us out along the way. You've given us a lot, and we really appreciate that. And yeah, just everybody be safe.
Very nicely said. Thank you so much for the interview. All the best in the off season, and I'm sure we'll see you again.
Thank you.